umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. Hine matov, umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day.
Let's hear your voices.
Umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov,
Umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad.
Hine matov, umanayim shebe'achim gam yachad. Zehayom, how beautiful a day it is. Zehayom, Zehayom, Asa Adonai. Zehayom, Zehayom, Asa Adonai. Nagila, Benismecha, Benismecha. Nagila, Benismecha bo. Nagila, Benismecha. Nagila, Benismecha bo. Zehayom, Zehayom, Zehayom. Asa Adonai. Zehayom,
Zehayom.
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 Asa Adonai. Zehayom, Zehayom, Zehayom. Follow the tunies. Asa Adonai. Here we go. Ready? Zehayom, Zehayom. Now you sound good. Asa Adonai. Nagila, Benismecha. Nagila, Benismecha bo. Nagila, Benismecha. Nagila, Benismecha bo. Zehayom, Zehayom, Asa Adonai. Zehayom, Zehayom, Asa Adonai. Great job. Look up.
What a wonderful way to begin Shabbat with the Toonies. Don't worry, I understand they will be back later on in the service. Shabbat Shalom. We have so much to celebrate this Shabbat. Jill, of course, and it is the start of Pride Month, and tonight we celebrate Pride Shabbat, the first of several opportunities we will have this month to celebrate the LGBTQ community. Now, you may ask, why do we need a Pride Shabbat here at Temple Emanu-El? After all, we have members who are part of the queer community. We have members whose children are gay, lesbian, and transgender. We have members with gay siblings. We have members with gay parents. Why, I've heard we even have a gay rabbi. Well, in case that's news to anyone, well, it is a Jewish value. As is often the case, this week's Torah portion offers us a lesson. In Bamidbar, the first portion of the book of Numbers, we read of a census. Moses needed to know how many men were eligible for battle and how the various tribes and clans would be organized in their camps. While there were practical reasons for the census, there is also a greater lesson, that we all count. And if someone is not included, our community is not complete. If we are not welcoming our LGBTQ family and friends, then our community is not complete. Allow me to offer you another reason. This year, the ACLU is tracking 515 anti-LGBTQ bills currently in state legislatures. A third of states already have anti-LGBTQ laws on the books. These range from making gender-affirming care illegal to prohibiting drag shows to banning books. And do not for a minute think that our liberal state is immune. There are currently 8 anti-LGBTQ bills that have been introduced in the New Jersey state legislature. The LGBTQ community needs to know that this Jewish community welcomes them, celebrates them, cherishes them, yes, on Pride Shabbat, but also on every day of the year. And of course, tonight we celebrate Jill Simofonte, our beloved director of the ECE. Much more about that later on. But you may ask, why combine Pride Shabbat with our celebration of Jill? Well, we know how important it is for our children from their earliest years to have pride in who they are, in how they express themselves, and to know that they have the unconditional love of the adults in their lives. I can think of no one better to do that than Jill. And if all that were not enough, we have an ufruf tonight. An ufruf of 2 gentlemen, soon to be married. And in a perfect confluence of events, one of the grooms is the son of the very woman we honor tonight. Indeed, that is worthy of applause. We continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20 of your prayer books. When we get to verse 9, I will invite the congregation to rise and face the door as we welcome Shabbat into our presence.
Lecha Dodi, likras kala, pnei Shabbat, lekavela. Lecha Dodi, likras kala, pnei Shabbat, lekavela. Shamor bezachor, bedibor echad. Ki ishmianu el hamyukad. Adonai echad, ushmo echad. L'shem ol tiferet v'litzia.
And while you're up, I invite you to turn to a neighbor and wish them Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shalom. Our worship continues on page 28. We remain standing for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, Umadil ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzebaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru basitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
Are the tunies coming back?
They're coming back. The toonies are coming back.
The toonies are coming
The
back.
toonies are coming back. And I'll add, if you have been in the pre-K or the kindergarten here in the ECE, you know this song. You know this song. We sing it as we prepare for Passover. So it's going to take us a little bit of time, but we're going to come back up to help us lead us in this prayer. Come on up.
Toonies.
So if you were on the bema before, we're going to invite you back up. Perfect.
We need our toonies.
Good job. So follow me with the motions. Is this everyone? Okay, ready? Here we go. Standing at the sea. Standing at the sea, Mikamoka. Standing at the sea, Mikamoka. Standing at the sea, Mikamoka. Freedom is on our way. Singing and dancing, singing and dancing, Mikamoka. Singing and dancing, Mikamoka. Singing and dancing, Mikamoka. Freedom is on our way to freedom.
Hands up.
Freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom is on our way. They're coming up behind. They're coming up behind. Mikamoka. They're coming up behind. Mikamoka. They're coming up behind. Mikamoka. Freedom is on our way. Bound no more. Mikamoka. Bound no more. Mikamoka. Bound no more. Mikamoka. Freedom is on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom is on our way. The sea sheep parts. Mikamoka, the sea sheep parts. Mikamoka, the sea sheep parts. Mikamoka, freedom is on our way. Walking through the water, walking through the water. Mikamoka, walking through the water. Mikamoka, walking through the water. Mikamoka, freedom is on our way to freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom is on our way. On the other side, we're on the other side. Mikamoka, we're on the other side. Mikamoka, we're on the other side. Mikamoka, freedom is on our way. One God, Mikamoka. One God, Mikamoka. One God, Mikamoka. Freedom is on our way
Last
to freedom.
time.
Freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom is on our way. Take a seat. That was beautiful. Great job.
Cantor, do you think I could join the toonies?
Yes.
You hesitated there.
You got it. You've got everything.
I got
You've
it.
got it all.
We continue on page 43.
No. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. All of our voices. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Lishalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu lechayim. Ufrosaleinu, Sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Lishalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
One way that we get through life storms is by finding someone to share our life with. And it's amazing that Gonzalo and Gonzalo and Zach found their besheret, the people to gather through life storms. So Zach and Gonzalo, I'm going to invite you up on the bima with your Jill, as well as Gonzalo's parents, Annette and Gonzalo, to join us as well. And Zach, as you approach this bima, a bima that you became bar mitzvah on, I promise I won't make you do your Torah portion or anything like that again as well. Jill, you're gonna hold this for a second. You'll stand, you'll face me. You can look at me. You can hold hands if you want. And so we begin this really special moment with a blessing over wine that I'm spilling. That's why you should always use white wine on your wedding day, just so a clergy tip there. This is the Kiddush cup that Zach received at his bar mitzvah on this bima, and so we get to mark the sweetness of this moment with the two of you and your family and your extended family with a blessing over wine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim, take a sip. Take a sip. Awesome. Perfect. Put it down over there. Put it down over there. So Zach and Gonzalo, you have been together for over 10 years. And through that time, you've gotten to know each other. You've gotten to know what you love to do together, like going out to good food and traveling. You've gotten to know what you don't like doing together, like seeing Broadway shows, or maybe wood carving, and maybe you each have your own hobbies as well. And you also are both mensches. Gonzalo, you work in philanthropy. Zach, you were philanthropy. You gave your kidney to someone to make sure that they could live a bright life. How beautiful is that? You share your life with a close friend, which is truly remarkable. And as you get closer and closer to your wedding day, we hope that the years that you have spent together continues to strengthen your relationship, continues to make your home a place of peace, a place of joy, a place of good food as well. And so I'm going to ask your parents to put a talit over the two of them. We're going to hold it like that, up high, like a chuppah. You can hold hands. And as we say a blessing today, kol sason v'kol simcha, a voice of joy and a voice of gladness. We rejoice with you too on this Shabbat as you prepare to get married. May you know much joy and gladness throughout your years together, and strength of spirit for times of sorrow and hardship. We pray that your new home will be filled with delight, with laughter and unending devotion for each other. May you build a home based on acts of goodness, and may you be blessed with happiness, love, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai. Blessed are you, God, for this opportunity to celebrate together. Blessed are you, God, for all the joyful moments we share as a community and for the joy of this loving couple. And together we say, Amen. Simin Tovim, Mazel Tovim, Mazel Tovim, Simin Tovim, Simin Tovim.
Mazel tovun, mazel tovun, simin tovun, simin tovun, mazel tovun, mazel tovun, simin tovun. Yehelanu, 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 Ulekol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael.
Throw it out, just throw it.
Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael. Simin tovun, mazel tovun, mazel tovun, simin tovun, simin tovun, mazel tovun, mazel tovun, simin tovun, simin tovun, mazel tovun, mazel tovun, simin tovun. Yehelanu,
I'll protect you.
Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulekol Yisrael.
So Zach and Gonzalo, we hope the sweetness of today carries you through. On behalf of the Temple Emanu-El family, we have a mezuzah. That's when you break a glass at your wedding. You could put those fragments in here and put it on the doorpost of your house or a room in your apartment, I guess, that you can remember your loving marriage. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
And thank you to our cleanup crew.
Anananananana Adonai.
We continue on page 46. Please rise.
Ananananana ufiagi. Ufiagi tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana spatai tifta. Ananananana ufiagi. Ufiagi tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana spatai tifta. Ananananana ufiagi. Ufiagi tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana spatai tifta. Ananananana ufiagi. Ufiagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imachot, U'meviga Ula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Vezrat Sarah.
As has become our custom since October 7th, each Friday night we recall one who is still held captive. Staff Sergeant Matan Angrest loves fitness and is a fan of Maccabi Haifa. He loves Israeli music. After graduating high school and excelling in math, physics, and English, Matan enlisted in the IDF as a tank driver in the Armored Corps. Matan has 3 younger siblings. On October 7th, Matan and others in his unit were brutally kidnapped by Hamas. A released hostage who spent the day with Matan underground in a Hamas tunnel said Matan was alive but badly injured. Matan turned 21 in captivity. He was scheduled to be released from military service in April. His picture and a seat for him are on the bima.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim matir asurim Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim matir asurim.
We take a moment for Tefillat Halev, the prayers of our hearts. Please feel free to be seated when your prayers are completed. Long before Billie Eilish and Troye Sivan, musicians and actors risked professional suicide if they came out. If you've never heard of Meg Christian or the Flirtations, it is probably because they chose to come out as openly gay musicians in the 80s and 90s. While their audiences were limited, their fans were loyal to musicians whose music spoke to the realities of their love and of their lives. One of the most popular songs of the Flirtations, a male a cappella group, is Everything Possible. Written in 1983 by the singer-songwriter Fred Small, it is a lullaby of unconditional love for a 9-year-old boy struggling to fit in with masculine stereotypes.
You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will will be the love you leave behind when you're gone. There are kids who grow up strong and bold. There are kids quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind, and some go in their own way and time. And some women love women, some men love men, some raise children, some never do. You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything's possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they will give the same back to you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're gone. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're gone.
We take this time to call to our hearts and minds those who are in need of healing. Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel ve'Leah, Hu Yevarech et HaCholim. From our congregation, we pray for the well-being of Menachem Mendel Ben Gittel, Sam Frankel, Howard Wiener, Scott Schreier, Vida Aziz, Diane Cooper-Schmid, Harry Mesh, Samantha Eckerling, Zani Adiv Ben Ruvain ve'Ahava Simcha, Yosef Tzvi Ben Moshe ve'Aviva, Lucas Muhlenweg, Stanley Freelander, Marie Luongo, Jill Vittorio, Michael Zambri, Celia Schwartz, Sandy Gold, Francesco Perron, Matityahu Marcus, Harav Sarah Bat Yisrael Vishoshana, Warren Philip Kosin, and Craig Landa. And if there is someone for whom you are praying, I invite you now to share their names with our community. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We come to our sanctuary for so many different reasons, to be in community, to celebrate Jill, to celebrate an upcoming wedding, to remember a loved one who recently died or an anniversary of a death. We also come to mark really important moments in our lives. And there's an important moment tomorrow when Haley Lewis becomes a bat mitzvah. So I'm going to invite up Haley to join us on our bima with her parents and her brothers. And if you celebrated something awesome this week, maybe it was your anniversary this past week, maybe it was your birthday, join us on the bima. Maybe you got your driver's license, maybe you lost a tooth, maybe you got a new job. Join us. We would love to celebrate good things. And we turn to page 5 in our Siddur. We rise for Kiddush.
You can hold her.
You got it. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. I think it was your parents' anniversary, too.
1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon, hilanu, zikaron, lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki banu bacharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Haley, before we take a sip of wine, happy birthday, Morgan, and happy anniversary to your parents, who should have come up as well, but I'll give them now, and your brother Xander, who had a birthday too. Haley, I'm so glad that I get to stand on this bima with you as you prepare to lead our congregation, a congregation filled with your family and friends tomorrow morning. Something that I have marveled at you is your poise. You have a spirit and a poise and a smile that brings people together. And I'll say this a little bit tomorrow, but on the soccer field, on the sidelines, Haley Lewis's name comes up a lot because I hear that you are just a remarkable young woman who looks out for everyone, who opens their heart to everyone. And we will see that on the bima tomorrow, but I know that we will see that each and every day of your life as well. So I can't wait to celebrate with you and your family, and we hope that you're not just a bat mitzvah today, but each and every day of your life. L'chaim. Take a sip. Please be seated. Tonight, we get to celebrate Jill Simifante's 25 years as our early childhood director. We are so lucky to have her family and friends, teachers and students, colleagues in our congregation to mark this amazing moment. 25 years as an early childhood director in one synagogue is a pretty amazing feat, and it's far from the easiest of jobs. Not only does Jill have to run an amazing school, hire terrific teachers, follow the guidelines from the state, making sure that our children are learning, growing, and safe, but she also has to deal with lice, COVID, and parents. Jill has served this congregation and the larger Jewish world with strength, with kindness, and with menschlichkeit. Tonight we will have the opportunity to thank her, and we have a few people to share some words. One person is extra special in Jill's life, and that is Kathy Rowland. Kathy is the Union for Reform Judaism's Assistant Vice President. Network expansion and experiences, which brings innovative approaches focused on engaging individuals and families from diverse backgrounds. Kathy was the inaugural president of the Early Childhood Educators of Reform Judaism, and Jill and Kathy go way back. I only go 8 years back with Kathy when I was lucky to work with her on a community of practice. I'm thankful for Kathy because part of that community of practice was starting infant care and toddler care here at the temple. So 2 of my kids got to start here at 6 months old. I'm thankful for her leadership and vision in strengthening our Reform Jewish community. Thank you.
Never follow a rabbi, rule number 1, when you work in the Jewish world. Thank you, Rabbi Prosnit, and this entire Temple Emanu-El community for giving me this honor tonight to talk about one of my greatest passions, which is early childhood Jewish education, and more importantly, to share some reflections with you as we celebrate Jill Simofante's 25 years as a passionate, dedicated leader in her role as your director of early childhood education. When Rabbi Prosnit invited me to join tonight's celebration, I knew it would provide a unique opportunity to do a deep dive into Jill's leadership journey at Temple Emanu-El. I was fortunate to engage in conversations with many of you sitting here tonight, along with quite a few friends and colleagues who could not be here with us, who are here in spirit. And I had to make the difficult decision to omit names because I would be keeping you here all night if I told you all the people I got to talk to. It will be no surprise to her family, her friends, her teachers, that she has a lot of fans out there who were so eager to contribute their thoughts and their ideas to my speech tonight. With that said, I did my best to lift a few of the many, many illustrations I was privy to that resonated with me, as I have been so fortunate to be a witness for 25 years, gosh, we feel old, that I have known Jill. Jill and I had the good fortune of meeting back in 1999 when we were babies, when we were young moms beginning our Jewish early childhood journeys in New Jersey. Over the past 25 years, it has really been my privilege to watch Jill grow and evolve into one of the most dedicated and talented early childhood education leaders on every level, starting here locally at Temple Emanu-El, moving to regional, and last but certainly not least, representing the greater reform movement where Jill and I were blessed to be part of the birth of the early childhood educators of Reform Judaism. It is not a coincidence that we are honoring Jill this Shabbat as we read the 4th book in the Torah, Numbers. Within Jewish tradition, our book is known as Bamidbar, which means in the wilderness. What does it mean to be in the wilderness, you may be wondering? For our Israelite ancestors, the wilderness seemed to have been the unknown. It's often described as a liminal space in between what they knew in slavery to the freedom they had heard about in the Promised Land, being in between a place where they wandered, trying to figure things out, which included counting. The census is one example, allowing Moses and his sacred partners an opportunity to try to figure out who they were. Similar to these liminal stages between childhood and maturity, when one is trying to figure out what his, her, their unique value, being in the desert, the Bamidbar is being in between, growing from slavery to freedom. Also, you can use it to figure out what you really love and are meant to do. Hold on to that idea. As we celebrate Jill, our friend, our colleague, mother, sister, partner, I can't help but wonder if this definition is resonating with Jill. It will not come as a surprise if we might ask Jill to add a few adjectives of her own that might include, and not be limited to, being in the wilderness is overwhelming, scary, uncharted, undetermined, undecided, unresolved. The list goes on and on. You get the idea. And despite all the adjectives on the list, I am confident that what has motivated and inspired our friend Jill to stay on this journey for 25 years was and continues to be the promise, the potential, the possibility of continuously finding meaning, purpose, fairness, justice, equity, quality, authenticity, and excellence on every level she is involved with and plays an essential role, whether it be at the local level here in her Westfield community, the regional level through her work at Metro West in New Jersey and the New Jersey chapter of NACCE, and of course the North American level for the early childhood educators of Reform Judaism. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks is known as one of the greatest Jewish thinkers of the 20th century. He reminds us that the phrase Jewish leadership is ambiguous. According to Judaic principles and values, it means leadership by Jews, but it also means leadership in a Jewish way. Over these past 20 years, I have been fortunate to have a front seat to witness Jill at both. She is a Jewish leader who has been leading in a Jewish way. Through all of my conversations with many of you here tonight, I discovered that Jill's best principles of leadership are perfectly aligned with Moses's 7 principles of leadership. The number 7, Sheva, is a very special number in Jewish tradition, and it refers to the center point which unifies all of nature, and is so appropriate to think about our beloved friend and colleague and family member, Jill. Thank you for indulging me for a minute or two as I share the special number 7, Jill Simafante leadership principles. Firstly, Moses demonstrated the importance of vision and resilience. Despite facing seemingly insurmountable obstacles, he held fast to his vision of a promised land, guiding his people with unwavering determination. In Jill's role as director, she has remained steadfast in her vision to provide accessible, high quality, and early childhood education that inspires lifelong Jewish connections and thriving Jewish communities through her unique approach and the approach of all of her teachers, which creates an environment that encompasses the importance of Judaism, family, community, and the individual needs of each child. Jill and her amazing team, and you have to say hello to her teachers who are back here. Teachers, if you would just stand up for a minute, because I'm so really inspired that you're all here. Jill and her team, I know, are committed to ensuring our Jewish values and traditions are the foundation of Temple Emanu-El's Early Childhood Center. Secondly, Moses knew the power of teamwork. No one can lead alone. Have you ever read anything about leadership that didn't include the importance of asking others to join you in the work you've been given? Moses learned this lesson several times. Jill knew early on it was essential for her to build future leaders, both within her educators and her lay leaders. And I'd actually love her lay leaders who are here tonight, who have served as chairs or members of any of the committees, to please stand up, because I believe some of you are here and have been amazing partners to Jill. And without you, some of the problems that the rabbi mentioned would not be solved. Thirdly, Moses faced opposition with courage and confidence. Not every leader will face an antagonizer like Pharaoh, but every leader will face opposition. Moses led the people in the midst of opposition with courage as Jill led her community through 9/11, the crash of 2008, and last but certainly not least, COVID. During my investigation, I was struck by the Herculean efforts of Jill and her sacred partners, one sitting in the front row, and dedicated Emanu-El leaders whose guidance, support, and expertise allowed the Early Childhood Center to reopen in August 2020, providing a very safe environment while parents were at home doing a lot. Fourth, leadership is about the future. It's vision-driven. Before Moses can lead, he has to experience a vision at the burning bush, and there he is told to lead the people from slavery to freedom. He has a destination, the Promised Land. We know that during her first year, Jill successfully planned, relocated, and led the existing program, which was called a nursery school, into the brand new Kroloff Center. She rebranded it, she transformed the program from a nursery school to an early childhood education program, no easy feat, and many iterations continued to meet the changing needs of the market and her families, which included things like going from mommy and me to grown up and me, kindergarten wrap-up, full-day kindergarten, and let's not forget one of the most important, full-day infant and toddler options. Jill also envisioned and designed and built Teva, which is your outdoor nature classroom, and she has successfully, along with her amazing team, guided the Early Childhood Center through NACI accreditation 4 times. Also not easy. Jill also is very proud that she has increased the early childhood revenue here at Temple Emanu-El from what was $200,000 to over $2 million, which is really amazing. Fifth, Moses exemplified the qualities of empathy and compassion. He listened to the concerns of his people. He empathized with their struggles. He advocated for their needs. He built trust and fostered a supportive environment. In addition to being a founding member of the Early Childhood Educators of Reformed Judaism, I'm going to ask my 2 colleagues, Amy DeMast and Carol Pastor, to stand, who have been on this journey with us from the beginning. Jill recently received the Woman of Valor. As a founding member of ECERJ, she has been a backbone of this organization that serves over 250 early childhood centers in the Reform movement. She has helped the organization grow, and not most important, but of noteworthy, she is the Reform Pension Board's official board member, getting pension for early childhood educators and other Temple staff across North America. This deserves a standing ovation. The rabbis give a remarkable interpretation of the passage when Moses says about the Israelites, "They will not believe in me." God said to Moses, "They are believers, the children of believers, but in the end you will not believe." Leadership means believing in the people you lead. Jill's strength in cultivating this talented and dedicated staff, which has grown from 10 to 40 and has changed the culture from a job in a preschool to a career in early childhood education, with a focus on equity and salaries. This is transformational, and I cannot emphasize enough that because of the hard work that she is doing both locally, regionally, and nationally, we are beginning to see changes across North America. Thank you. So, as I wrap up my leadership excellence on Jill Simofonte, I want to say that Jill is the ultimate co-constructor, my leadership number 7 principle. She continues to dream, vision, problem solve, implement. Sacred Partnership illustrates beautifully what we see here tonight. And what I learned from some of her teachers, she does a pretty incredible job of providing professional development opportunities where you need them and where you want them. Jill, Moses was a leader. He had a mentor, but he was also a leader who mentored other leaders. I like to think, and the list is way too long to mention, and my friend Amy helped me focus on some of the important things that you have done, just to name a few for your community. You have been a member of the Jewish Federation Directors Network for 25 years. You've served on the Advisory Council. You're a member of the Westfield Advisors Group. I don't know if you have time to do all this. You've presented at national conferences, including our biennial. You are an advocate, a passionate advocate about raising compensation for early childhood teachers. You will continue to do that. And in the last few years, Jill gave testimony to the New Jersey State Assembly and Senate requesting funding for teacher compensation. As you can see, the leadership principles I came up with, there's so many more. And I hope they resonate with you as Jill's family members, her partner, her colleagues, her friends, and for all of you here who are part of generations of children, parents, families, teachers, and staff who have benefited from Jill's warmth, her care, her vision, and her commitment to developing a vibrant, joyful, and nurturing learning community. I thank you all for being such wonderful partners to my friend Jill as she has navigated this wilderness. Jill, as we reflect on the timeless wisdom of this week's Torah portion, Bidmar, and support you on your journey moving forward, may you continue to draw inspiration from the 7 leadership lessons of Moses in the wilderness. May you remain steadfast in your vision, your compassion in your actions, collaborative in your approach, and humble in your demeanor. Please continue to model for all of us and those that are fortunate to be in your space what it means to lead with humility, delegate with wisdom, unite with purpose, and envision a brighter future while serving with integrity. You are so blessed to have the support of this amazing community, which will allow you to continue to navigate the wilderness of uncertainty while always forging a strong path forward. You and your sacred partners here tonight have created something truly remarkable, and I am so honored to have been a part of this journey in the wilderness with you. And I'd love to just end with one of my favorite proverbs. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the law of loving kindness is on her tongue. Thank you.
I'd like to invite up Pamela Bookbinder-Clark to share a few words. Pam has been ECE co-chair, and she on Wednesday was nominated as our first vice president of our congregation as well.
I would say don't go after the rabbi or Kathy, so I'm going to cross some things off. Thank you. A few years ago during COVID, the temple did a new event called The Amazing Race during Purim, and my family followed a clue that took us to the temple. We walked through the wooden doors, and my then 3-year-old son Noah said, "This is my school." My 7-year-old daughter disagreed and said, "No, it's actually her school." They debated, and Noah said, "No, this is the community room. I have sports with Coach Zach in here." To which Aviva said, "I had Coach Zach too when I went here, and now I go to Hebrew school here." It started a fight as only a brother and sister could, and the sister won because she's 4 years older, so it was a hard-fought battle. I thought about this story when I was thinking about speaking tonight because I really think it's Jill that led both of my kids to feel that this was their second home and to have this fight, which I quickly bribed them with some candy and Hamantashen to stop so we could get on to the next clue. Next Tuesday, I'll become an ECE alum as my son graduates from kindergarten. People have asked if I'm thinking about having a third kid so I could stay in the ECE. The answer is no. You can tell my parents that as well. But it's been a very, very special 9 years here. I had the pleasure of serving as the chair of the ECE for 3 years. And one of the best parts of being in that role was getting to work closely with Jill. We would meet to plan our monthly parent meetings, brainstorm new events, go over hiring and staffing needs, and dream about what the ECE could become in the future. Many of you are here to celebrate Jill's incredible 25 years of service and know her as the director of the ECE, but she actually has a lot of other jobs, which I was privy to seeing. She is also a public health servant, sending out notifications about communicable diseases like strep, pink eye, and lice this week. Everyone feeling itchy? My family was clear, thankfully, so you can sit with us at dinner. She sent out notifications about COVID testing clinics, set them up, and created masking policies and more. She also serves as a traffic engineer. If you've ever been to the temple parking lot Monday through Friday between 8:45 and noon. She's also a physician assistant at an OB's office with people telling her that they're pregnant before they tell their own parents, or sometimes even their spouse is what someone told me. She's an anthropologist studying birth rates and tracking them to predict future enrollment. And my favorite is that she's become sort of a real estate agent, tracking home sales to predict the number of future families and classes that we'll need. Most importantly, she's at school every day working with our amazing teachers and staff to ensure that they have what they need, working relentlessly to make sure that the school is filled with joyous learning opportunities, dreaming of what kids could learn in Teva through school performances and special events. She creates, builds, and carries on traditions, as we all have many pieces of artwork that our kids have created, Seder plates, bowls of fake matzo ball soup with cotton balls that adorn dining room tables at meals. People often ask me why I volunteer at the temple, and they say, you must get something. You must pick your kid's class or know what their class they're going to be in. And the answer was, and still is, no. The truth is that the work that I do here, and with the ECE especially, fills my cup. Even after long days at work, it brings me happiness to give back to the community, one which has served my family and my children so significantly. I'm grateful to have been able to work so closely with Jill and look forward to continuing to witness the excellence created here as an alum instead of a current family member. So thank you. And we have a present on behalf of the board and the temple. And lastly, it almost seemed beshert that we're celebrating Haley's bar mitzvah as we celebrate Jill's 25th, because Haley was paired with my daughter when she was new to Wilson to be her 5th grade buddy. And Haley went above and beyond what a normal 5th grade buddy does, which I think is reading on some carpet. She brought her friends over to our house to trick or treat, which nothing is cooler to a 6-year-old than having your 5th grader come over, and even stopped playing with her friends at the carnival to help us win fish, which died less than 12 hours later. I've heard time and time again that Haley's a future educator, and I just thought it was so meant to be that we're celebrating both things on the same night. So mazel tov to both of you.
A few more words. We have the rabbi that hired Jill here tonight, Rabbi Charles Kroloff, Rabbi Emeritus, who had great wisdom as he brought Jill to this community.
I'll be 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You can pretty much time me. Had to be here tonight. Jill, in proper English, you done good. You done very, very good. A little secret, our early childhood was not the best in the state when Jill arrived. We're okay. We're moving forward. But if you were singling out the 10 best early childhood programs in New Jersey, I don't think we would be even 11th. Today, I mean, I'm not an expert in it, but I can well imagine that we'd be right up there and probably nationally as well, right? Yep. So I'm here just to say thank you. It's an extraordinary turnout today. I visited early childhood from time to time as you moved forward. I was overwhelmed by the baby, what's it called, the baby room? The what? Inchworm. Overwhelmed how you pulled that off. The COVID time was amazing. So many of you know that when in Jewish history and tradition, when a Jewish community is created, what's the first thing that you're expected to establish? Hire a rabbi? No. Create a synagogue? No. What's first? School, early childhood, a school. And you are the past, the present, and the future. We are so grateful to you. Mazel tov to the family. Congratulations. Outstanding. You were a very little guy when you arrived here, right? It was a little shaky those days, but boy, really come through. Yeah, you really showed us. So a great mother, a great member of your beautiful family, and we are so grateful. And I personally am grateful for our relationship. One final word, and the rabbis will forgive me for this, but I think you have the most difficult job in the synagogue. I really do. And you pull it off so well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Kroloff. I often say that I know which students in our community are going to continue on from B'nai Mitzvah to confirmation. The greatest factor of enrollment for our confirmation program in 10th grade is if a student started their Jewish journey at Temple Emanu-El Early Childhood Center. If they did, they are more likely to become confirmed. Their early years of life are when children develop their sense of identity. It is a time when parents are as eager as their children to learn and experience. This is the ideal time to lay a foundation of Jewish values. In a study commissioned by the Jewish Earlyhood Childhood Education Partnership, 2/3 of the families interviewed indicated that they are doing something different regarding their Jewish practice as a result of their preschool experience. I'm proud to say that our early childhood program lays a strong foundation for our families and our children, and for the past 25 years, Jill has made sure of this. We've heard a lot. Jill is a visionary educator. Through her hard work, she expanded our program and hours. She constantly thinks about curriculum and how to improve it. And she has created a school that other congregations envy and look to for guidance. Jill is an advocate for early childhood education. She has professionalized early learning programs and the way people think about preschools. Jill is a leader, sitting on many boards and leadership activities, and she builds connections and lasting friendships. For the past 10 years, I've been honored to work with Jill as we dream about the future. I cherish her thoughtfulness, her ability to pivot, her moral compass, and her friendship. Jill, you have created such an incredible program, and I can't wait over the past 25 years. And I can't wait to see how the program continues to develop under your leadership for the next 25 years too. And of course, while Jill is the director, there are so many people that have partnered and supported this amazing work. Tonight's celebration could not have happened without Alyssa Nussbaum, Pam Clark, Danielle Sporn, Lisa Mandelbatz, Leslie Glickstein, Claire Bernstein, Eliza Cinnamon, and Nan Honig. Thank you for your efforts. And so I'm going to invite up Jill onto the bima as we get to offer her a blessing. And as Jill comes on the bima, if you are a parent, co-chair, or a member of our search committee, can you join us on the bima as well? Parent, co-chair, ECE, parent, chair, co-chair. Perfect. Come on up. If you are a current or past ECE teacher or administrator at our school, can you join us on the bima as well? And if you're a colleague of Jill's, either at Temple Emanu-El or at other schools, I want you to join us on the bima. I think we're running out of room on our bima, so if you're a member of Jill's family or soon to be a member of her family, I invite you to stand. If you are a parent of a preschool student under Jill's leadership, or a past parent, I invite you to stand. Or future parent, yeah, why not? If you are a current student or a former student, I invite you to stand. If you're here tonight celebrating Shabbat, I invite you to stand as well. And so, Jill, you have touched many people's lives. We are going to put you under this chuppah that our kids have been under for so many times that I get to offer you this blessing. All right. Jill, may you be blessed and strengthened as you have blessed and strengthened your students and this community. May you have peace, grace, kindness, mercy, a long life, and everything you need. And together we say, Amen, and we sing a special song.
Invite up our toonies to sing this special song. Are they here still? Did they make it through? Come on. Yeah. Ready? Come on. You've got it. Here we go, ready? You've got a friend in me. Okay. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what Miss Jill said. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. May God bless you. Ready? Here we go. May God bless you. May God keep you near. May God's blessings flow year after year. May God's light shine upon you in all that you do. May you have shalom each day through. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Now blow lots of kisses. Great job. I know.
Please be seated.
Wow. There's not many moments when I'm speechless. I'm glad I wrote a speech. There are not many careers where others go out of their way to express appreciation for you and the work that you do. I feel incredibly blessed to be a part of this generous and thoughtful community for 25 years, practically half my life. My children, my extended family, and friends have come together at Temple Emanu-El during both joyful and sorrowful moments of countless life cycle events. Temple Emanu-El is my home, and I thank all of you for sharing this milestone with me, as well as the Ofruf of Zach and Gonzalo, and also Mazel Tov to Haley and her family. And even though Jack doesn't remember coming here, I remember you. Early in the school year, Rabbi Prosnit asked me if the temple could celebrate my 25th year. Since this happens to be his 10th year, I said, why don't we do it together? And he said, no, it should be for you. How lucky am I to have a boss that puts me in front of himself? This is a perfect example, where are you? Of the selflessness with which Rabbi Prosnit leads our congregation. I am so grateful for our partnership for the last 10 years. With your help, your support, your visioning, the temple and the ECE is thriving. Ethan, you are a blessing. I've always believed in the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And with that, I never felt alone as a director. I have had the good fortune to work with so many wonderful and talented teachers, dedicated board members, senior and administrative colleagues, congregants, and families, all for the purpose of helping each child and family that comes through our doors to develop and flourish and gain early experiences and an understanding of Jewish values, customs, and holidays. In so doing, I believe that it really lifts all of us up. I have seen how Judaism is the thread that ties generations together. Parents have told me with joy that they started lighting candles on Shabbat because of their children's experiences at school. And there's nothing better than seeing a parent or grandparent's face when their toddler, who has very limited vocabulary, can gleefully belt out Bim Bam. And the child menorahs and matzah covers are sacred mementos that will last a lifetime. I still have and use the ones for my own children. L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation. Along with the thread of Judaism comes a strong sense of community. Both children and adults form friendships in our ECE that may last a lifetime. Some of my children and my friends from preschool are in this sanctuary today. Several years ago, I attended the bat mitzvah of a former child in the preschool. During the candle lighting ceremony, she called up all of her preschool friends, and there were so many there they took up the whole dance floor. I couldn't believe my eyes. Friendships are a part of community, but a sense of community extends even farther. It's being there for each other and supporting each other in good times and bad. During my tenure, our community has faced significant challenges that have tested our resilience and our unity. From the anxiety of Y2K, yes, I was here in '99, the heartbreak of 9/11, the economic turmoil of 2008, the devastation of Hurricane Sandy, to the unprecedented challenges of COVID, the smoke from the Canadian fires, October 7th, and even, most recently, an earthquake. Each event has been a trial, yet through it all, our community has shown an enduring spirit of strength and support. So, what has changed in 25 years? Well, when I started, we had typewriters, memorandums, and telephones with long, tangled cords. The walls were made of cinder blocks, and there were 59 children in the program. The classes offered were 2 or 3 days a week and only half day. Parents packed Lunchables for their children and even brought them McDonald's sometimes. Many families had one working parent, and I wore a suit jacket and heels. One of the most significant changes is the increased need for full-day childcare, which has been a theme this evening. Next Tuesday, we will have our kindergarten graduation. 4 of the children graduating were part of our very first inchworm class that began 6 years ago. This will be another monumental moment representing our commitment to growth and meeting the needs of our community. Another noteworthy change is the evolution of parent roles. Gone are the days where childcare fell predominantly on one parent. Today, I see a better balance with both parents sharing their responsibility more equally. And now our cell phones and computers play an integral role, texting and emailing at all hours with staff and parents, taking photos, and even Zooming. And now the children's lunches are packed in bento boxes filled with hummus, fruit, vegetables, and organically raised chicken. And I'm wearing jeans and sneakers to work. Most importantly, what has remained the same? First, the Temple's unwavering commitment to and support of our program and families with young children. Next, our high quality and dedicated staff whose passion and devotion to early childhood education is second to none. Third, the love that parents have for their children, the desire to see them flourish, and their enduring spirit of balancing their lives along with their children's needs. And finally, the beautiful, innocent children, full of curiosity and potential. Watching them grow, learn, and develop their unique personalities has brought me so much joy. And even though I love wearing jeans and sneakers to work, it's the Temple's support, the dedicated staff, the parent partnerships, and the beautiful children that keep me coming every day. I feel incredibly blessed to have met, worked with, and interacted with so many people. Too many to name tonight, but I hope you all know who you are. Thank you for joining us and to celebrate, and thank you also to those who have generously donated for our enhancement of our playground and our classrooms. Your contributions will help to make significant improvements that will benefit the children and our program for years to come. Thank you also to everyone on the committee that has made this event possible. Lisa, Danielle, Nan, Pam, Alyssa, Leslie, Claire, Eliza, and Ethan. And Kathy, thank you for your generous words. You have been my rock throughout all of this. And speaking of rocks, thank you, Nick, for your ongoing support and for being a listening ear, as long as it's not about COVID or lice. Here's to the past 25 years and to many more years of nurturing the next generation. Thank you, everyone.
Even as we celebrate so much this evening, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. You are invited to rise and remain standing when the name of your loved one is recited. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us in the last 30 days. Summer Curter, daughter-in-law of Janet and Bob Curter. John Jardina, brother of Richard Jardina. Alvin Tondo, father of Alyssa Nussbaum. Robert Modell, father of Nancy Haimi Cohen. Jerry Chesler, father of Stephanie Nesnitsky. Vicky Shapiro, sister-in-law of Debbie Shapiro. Julia Tax, mother of Mitchell Tax. Jerry Hogan, uncle of Colin Hogan. As well, we remember those who have died at this season in years past. Maury Acker, Albert Bloomfield, Ray Brower, Stephen Bronstein, Judy Buckband, Joseph Chervin, George Serkiel, Milton E. Sivins, May Cummins, Joseph David, Harry Eric, Henrietta Eric, Ida Eisenberg, Mort Elish, Rhoda Farber, Marcia Fetterbush, Lawrence Fine, Vivian Finkel, Alexandra Ginscher, Nat Godiner, Rebecca Greenbaum, Sanford Gutentag, Lillian Herman, Esther Katz, Joseph Klausner, Joyce Ann Klein, Mitchell Kuropatkin, Jean Laufer, Laura Lubo, Hi Lucan, Sarah Maller, Cynthia Minkin, Susan Nathanson, Sydney Orr, Seymour Ovren, May Sacker, Irving Samuels, Libby Savid, Yetta Mogi Schenkler, Lowell Schur, Daniel George Schaffman, Hyman Schulman, Kenneth Schaffman, Jack Schifrin, George Slavis, Stanley Solnick, Artie Spies, George Spiro, Elliot Tannenbaum, Eugene L. Timmons, Joan Wald, Morris Warshaw, Sam Wasserman, Nathan Wolfsky, Emily Sue Wolin, and Louis Wartzel. If there is anyone whose name you would like to add, I invite you to do so now. If you are in the first year of mourning, I invite you to rise. In solidarity with all those who mourn and for those who lie in unmarked graves, we rise for the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemir rabbah, bi'alma divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon, uvchaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'alam olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalal shmei getusha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, and to which we say, amen. Please be seated. Our observance of Shabbat continues tomorrow morning with Holy Scrollers, Minyan, Simchat Shabbat, and Haley Lewis being called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. On Sunday, join members for a bike ride along the Middlesex Greenway. After that, come home, take a shower, and then come to Temple for Mostly Music's final performance of the season. On Tuesday at Bible class, we will take a look at some of the troubling texts of Leviticus, about which I have a lot to say, to see if we can better understand them. On Tuesday night, we celebrate Shavuot when we receive Torah. Join us beginning at 7 o'clock for services, followed by a panel discussion delving into the recent protests on college campuses. We will be joined by Hillel staff, college students, and college professors. We will take a break for cheesecake, then study, followed by more cheesecake, followed by more study. And on Shavuot morning, join us for the morning service with Yisker at 10 a.m. And be sure to join us on Thursday at 5:30 for the flag raising at Westfield Town Hall, for the Pride flag raising at Westfield Town Hall. And please see your Temple e-bless for lots more. Thank you to Suzanne and to the Hallelu Band and to the Toonies for making Shabbat so joyous. In the Bible, the rainbow is the symbol of hope. It has also become the symbol of gay rights. And what is the unofficial anthem of the gay rights movement? No, not It's Raining Men. Rather, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, written by Yip Harburg, the son of Jewish immigrants. A quintessential Jewish hymn to envision the other side of the rainbow while still living in Kansas. But there was no rainbow in The Wizard of Oz. This was Yip Harburg's invention. The dream of the downtrodden to imagine freedoms not yet tasted. When a young Judy Garland sang this song, it was embraced by countless queer people who understood her yearning for freedom, of a place where the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Judy Garland's funeral was in New York City on Friday, June 27, 1969. The very next night, drag queens, gay men, and lesbians refused to take abuse of the police at Greenwich Village bar called the Stonewall, and the gay rights movement was born. And today, the Stonewall holds the status of being a U.S. national landmark.
And to lead us in this beautiful prayer is Sophie Searfoss, who sang this 2 years ago. It's the 2-year anniversary of her bat mitzvah, and her mom is a teacher, the Ladybugs now, but has been a teacher for many, many years here under the wonderful Jill. You will be blown away.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
Please join us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Wait, can I get a piece for my friend?
No, that's okay. I want people to enjoy it tonight. That's okay.